Hello, beautiful collective. Welcome into another reading today. And for those of you who are joining me from the US, happy belated Independence Day. I did put out a video yesterday, but because I was in a bit of a hurry, I forgot to say that. So hope you had a great day and you had lots of fun and celebrated with those that you love. We're going to do a different kind of reading today. I think I'm going to do a reading about what is coming into your life, what you can look forward to, and what's leaving your life, what is coming to a close in your life. So I've already pre-shuffled all my cards, called in my spirit team. I just need to do a little cleansing here. Feeling the energy to be a little heavier today right now, so I'm not sure if that's because people over celebrated, or maybe maybe you've had a hiccup, or you've stepped backwards, or you've kind of fallen into a pattern, maybe an old pattern lately, but there is some dense energy here right now. So just cleanse the space, cleanse myself. Okay. Okay, let's get the goods. Because of this heavier energy, I thought we would start with the good stuff today and then end with the stuff that is leaving your life or coming to a close. That's good too, though. Spirit, which deck would you like me to start with? This one? Okay. All right. So, what is coming in to the collective's life? What's coming into the collective's life? What's the good stuff? Show us the good stuff, Spirit. What can the collective look forward to? The thinking woman. I'm going to put that over there. What's coming into the collective's life? Whoop. Storm warning. Oh, okay, this might not be the good stuff. Okay, well, I guess we should cover it because it's coming out. So, what is coming into the collective's life right now? We'll look into the good stuff too, though. I'll ask very specifically just for that. Okay, so we've got the thinking woman. Could be thinking man too. Take it as it resonates for you. Storm warning, fifth chakra, Archangel Gabriel. So that's to do with speaking your truth, or speaking, period. Standing up for yourself, speaking up for yourself, speaking or showing up as your authentic self. What's coming in for the collective? What is coming up for the collective right away, Spirit? What's coming in for the collective? You can get one more card on that. That would be great. That one. Okay. Okay, well, that's pretty clear. Okay, so what we have, the thinking woman or man. Again, when you're watching any kind of tarot or you're watching any kind of reading, use your discernment, take what fits, leave the rest. If it doesn't resonate with you, then maybe the next part of the message will at some point. But flip the scripts as it fits pertaining to your gender. or who you identify as. And we have throat chakra, Archangel Gabriel. And lastly, we have walking away. Okay, so I'm getting a few different interpretations coming through here, a few different messages. So for some of you, you've been thinking that, like thinking or been in your head a lot, believing, maybe telling yourself or anticipating that a storm is coming, that something is coming and you're not sure what it is, but you've been feeling anxious or worried about it. And it's something pertaining to you having to stand in your power, having to stand up for yourself, speak up for yourself. And you may just be anticipating needing to walk away from it. But for others, what I'm getting is that there is something coming. So again, take it as it resonates for you. There may be something coming up in the future here, in the near future. And it could be with an energy. You know, I'm seeing the lightning bolts as a representation of this energy. Um, and, you know, the waves crashing is kind of this, like water represents your emotions, right? So the waves being so big and, you know, there's these caps, white caps on them and stormy. This is representing your emotional state being a little bit unbalanced. This could be internally or it could be something that might be happening with a person or a situation that is rocking your internal world. And there seems to be a need either coming up or currently to actually tap into the power of your voice, the power of your authenticity, also the power of your intent, I just heard. So what intentions are you putting out there? Are you stuck in your mind right now? Are you anticipating something coming forward that's possibly going to rock your world emotionally, or that's going to be unbalanced, or that imbalances you? Um, Either way, whatever this is, whether it's internal, meaning it's all in your head, or if there's actually something coming and you know that for sure, you're being asked to walk away from this person, from this situation, or from this internal conflict, because this is a pattern of chaos. And often people who come from chaotic environments, who have had a lot of experiences in chaos, tend to kind of anticipate the worst, right? And so given that this thinking woman, there's this butterfly, and butterflies represent transformation, and she's reading, right? There's a lot of knowledge that she's gained along her path. And this butterfly is in front of her, but she's not really looking at it. She's looking away from it, thinking in her head, thinking of her head. And so there's this transformation that you are or have been going through. And it's as though this transformation may be unsettling for you at the same time, because your previous experience has essentially informed you to be hyper vigilant for whatever is to come. And whatever is to come might be really beautiful, might be really great, but you might have a pattern of self sabotage here that spirit is trying to get you to pay more like closely, more close attention to. Thank you, spirit. And so you're being asked to walk away from this specific pattern. And I'm not sure whether or not, like I said, it's going to be different for each and every one of you, whether it's about a person specifically. And if it is, you're going to need to assert yourself in either case, really, and walk away from the person, the situation, anything that has been creating these stormy waters within your life. And um, sometimes we deny how much is actually affecting us, a situation or a person, right? We can fall back into these old patterns or belief systems, and we deny how much it's actually taking from us, time-wise, um, emotions. the what you're investing into it energetically, spiritually, how much it could be draining on your finances. It could be any of these things. This seems to be a very common theme that the collective's working on lately. But regardless of that, how much of this is unsettling you, and really look at it truthfully and honestly. And if it's taking away from you being able to remain in a high vibrational state in any way, shape, or form, because it's leading to worry, or it's leading to chaos, or it's leading to conflict, um, whether that be within yourself or with another, then you're being asked to really assert yourself and to speak up for yourself. Ask for assistance if you need it. I'm hearing, Archangel Michael is here, or Gabriel is here, sorry. So, Archangel's Gabe, I can't talk today. Archangel Gabriel is here with me right now as well while I do these readings for you guys. And so Archangel Gabriel really assists us with finding and communicating our deeper truth, right? And um, and not only communicating that within ourselves, right? And understanding the truth. Because, if you're seeking the truth and you're having difficulty in getting to the bottom of the truth, this is the archangel that you want to call upon to find that, because it's your inner truth, right? So it's not just about verbalizing things outwardly, but it's about finding your inner truth, what's true for you. And what's true for you isn't going to be true for anybody else, right? Necessarily. But those who respect you, those who love you, those who are actually that actually care about you will respect your truth. Anybody who you may have in your environment who does not want to understand your truth, who's not open to the idea of your truth being different from theirs. These are possibly people that you're going to need to walk away from at this time. And it's because you're being stifled in some way, and it's creating this inner storm for a lot of you, from what I'm seeing, being stuck in your head, overthinking things, over analyzing things, missing this transformational period in your life. And it's actually causing upheaval and a feeling of being unsettled or ungrounded. It's creating inner storms, inner conflict for you. And so, however this pertains, whether it is with a situation, a person, or within yourself, or all of the above, because remember, that can apply to all aspects of your life. If one thing is affecting you, it is going to carry over to your inner world as well. You're being asked to take a step back, and actually analyze whether whatever this is good for you or not. And you may want to call upon Archangel Gabriel to help you, to assist you with whatever this is, and ask, possibly if Archangel Gabriel can support you. If you work with Archangel Gabriel daily, if Archangel Gabriel can support you in finding that inner truth, finding and communicating your authenticity, right? Um, and this could just be, again, within, or it could be in your external world as well. But regardless, he's here to help you guys and support you while you walk away, to understand the truth behind why you need to walk away as well. So, yeah, that's what I'm getting here. Um, let's see if we can get one of these cards here. So, Spirit, what are some of the good things that are coming into the collective? What kind of good things are coming in for the collective right now? What kind of positive changes and shifts and things are coming in for the collective right now? Whoa. Okay. So, Got hobbies, changing your mind. And I'm going to flip these now that I'm done reading these. For your enjoyment, pleasure. Okay. What kinds of good things are coming into the collective? This one really wanted to come. Oh, okay. So for some of you, some new hobbies are coming in. So that could be, maybe different routines, different activities, maybe learning more about yourself, what you like and what you don't like. Because, when you're going through this process, you shed so much of yourself that then you're like, well, what do I like? So, opportunity or opportunities, or this is a good time to be exploring new hobbies to figure out what is going to work for you and what what you love, right? What resonates with you nowadays. Because again, every season has different challenges and it has different opportunities and it has different growth points. So it allows us to explore new aspects of ourselves that may have been previously overlooked or under investigated. So this might be a really good time for some of you to start picking up some new hobbies and see where that passion takes you, see where the energy of those new hobbies take you. Can you get in the flow state with those, right? For others of you, you're going to be offered an opportunity to change your mind. So, quite possibly, this can refer to changing your mind or perspective on situations from the past. For others of you, maybe you've been struggling in a field or maybe you've taken on a career or a job or something that you thought was aligned or that it used to be aligned with you. Somebody, something, some career, some decision might have been aligned in the past, or maybe your mind told you that it was aligned for you. But now you're going to get this opportunity to change your mind, and it's up to you. I mean, um, sometimes the energy presents itself so that things are easier. So you have an easier transition, or there's less backlash or consequences, negative consequences, I guess, how we humans would perceive that on in Earth realm, right? Um, Less consequences to these changes happening. So it looks like for some of you, you're going to be getting some changes or some opportunities to actually make that decision and to follow through with it, and it be a more positive transition for you. For some of you, retirement is in the picture. So this could be um, this could be that you are at that age where you've been looking, into retirement, but you're not sure if you can do it. Or for some of you, it's, you might even have the opportunity to retire early. It seems as though that what's coming in is for some of you, not all of you, it depends on your age. For some of you, the possibility to retire and to just live in an easier state is coming forward. For others of you, I did pick up there might be somebody out there in the collective who's receiving this message today who may be forced into early retirement, and that might be something that you need to look into. But because this is something that you can look forward to, the other thing that I heard was that it's actually going to be a great blessing for you in disguise. So it might not seem that way in the beginning, but you know, take it with stride and see that it is this blessing coming forward for a reason, and that might be because possibly your work has been draining you too much and taking too much from you, and the divine is stepping in on your behalf, right? So what other good things are coming in for the collective that they can expect in the near future here? Okay. Do you want me to take all of these, Spirit? Yeah, okay. They're like, yep. Okay, so then we have dietary changes. So for some of you, you're making changes or you've been thinking about making changes to your diet. Maybe you've been thinking about changes to what you eat, what you decide not to eat. Maybe you're learning how to fast. Perhaps some of you are learning how to do like longer fasts or cleansing your body. Maybe you've been considering just changing the way that you're living your life because of energy, because of how you're feeling, so that you can realign with being healthier, more high vibrational. So it looks like for some of you, these dietary changes are coming in. This could be something, though, on two sides of the scale, right? So for some of you, I'm getting that you're thinking about doing this, and the divine is saying, yep, let's do it. It's a good idea. This is what you need. And you'll feel really good that you did this and that you did this on your own. For others of you, there may be some sort of health concern or some sort of health issue that arises suddenly. And that's the divine stepping in on your behalf because you're not taking adequate, you're not, well, how are you putting that, divine? Hold on one second. Lost that. Oh, you're not taking adequate actionable steps into the right direction to attain better health. And so that may actually lead to some sort of health issue. So take it as it resonates for you in that obviously, I'm reading for lots of people. So, for others of you, I'm getting a windfall. So, this could be financially, this could be spiritually, this could be energetically. But regardless, you are receiving something. It could be an activation of one of your spiritual gifts and abilities. Um, but I am getting, this form of abundance in some aspect. So it could be resources, it could be community, it could be people coming into your life, right? Um, it could be just about anything. So for some of you in the collective, you can expect a windfall. And then we've got sentimental feelings. So immediately, the two things that are coming through here are for some of you, you're going to find that actually, I'm getting three different streams. Okay, hold on one second, Spirit. Can you just give me one at a time so that it's clear and I'm not getting bombarded with too many messages at one time? Okay, thank you. All right. Sometimes it's overwhelming to get so much information all at one time. Okay, so for some of you, you're actually changing the way that you perceive things, right? You're going on a certain path that is allowing you to again, walk away and heal things. But that also allows you to no longer have attachments to the sentimental feelings that were keeping you stuck in your head in these um, ups and downs I'm getting, right? Like I'm seeing the waves, ups and downs in the stormy waters. So you're letting go of your attachment to the sentimental feelings that you had towards um, past situations or people that may have been preventing you from walking away. And for others of you, let's just get that other part that was coming through before. Yeah. For some of you, you will be developing sentimental feelings for the path that you've had. So this is more of like a true valuing of yourself and a true valuing of how far you've come. Oh, goosebumps. How far you've come um, in your lifetime, how much you've changed, really seeing and appreciating and valuing how much work you've done on yourself to get you to where you are now. And so you may find that you are developing this really graceful sense of feeling for yourself that is more loving and more compassionate than you've ever felt. So it's almost like by walking through whatever this is and walking away from it, for some of you in the collective, you may be developing these sentimental feelings for just how far you've come and for the path that you've been on and that you've chosen and how much you've developed and changed. And then for some of you, that was the third stream that I picked up. There may be somebody coming into your life where you might be developing these sentimental feelings for, or for a friend, or maybe it's your children, or maybe it's a new career or hobby, or you may even be, for some of you, experiencing sentimental feelings that are affecting your decision to want to retire, right? So you might be thinking, from what I'm seeing, like somebody is uh, saying, yeah, I want to retire. I'm going to retire. I'm going to do this and that, and making all the plans. And then it's like nostalgia or this attachment to these feelings of what being in that role meant to you. And this could be retirement in a few ways, not just work wise, but I'm also picking up on family. So if you were playing the role of mother or father and your children have grown and fledged the nest, then you might be having these sentimental feelings about what to do with your time now, and, thinking about what it was like to have all the kids home and running around and all the noise. And you might be sentimental about that. And maybe that's a difficult part of letting go of these attachments, right? For others of you, perhaps another thing that's coming through, perhaps for some of you, that these dietary changes were a source of comfort for you. And so when you are making these dietary changes, um, you might have like some emotions that come up. If you were using any of the foods or substances in the foods were affecting your emotions in any way, you may find that your mind and your emotions are a little bit stormy or a little bit up and down. You may have sentimental feelings about those particular types of food. Maybe for some of you, it's forced, right? Like I said, because of a health issue, maybe there's diabetes or um, maybe you're having high cholesterol or heart issues or neuropathy or all kinds of things, right? Maybe you're being forced into it and you're having these sentimental feelings about the foods that you used to use in order to find comfort in. Okay, so take that as it resonates for each of you. Okay, Spirit. What else is coming into the collective? What else is coming in for the collective? What can they look forward to? What can the collective look forward to that's coming into their life right now, spirits? Whoa, I'm hearing that one. Okay. Exploration. Okay, I'll show you that card in a moment. What else is coming in for the collective that they can look forward to? Mm, I just heard that, yeah, changing your mind about how you feel about retirement. Changing your mind about how you feel about dietary changes. And I'm also getting a connection between picking up hobbies so that the transition between things gives you an outlet to direct any possible negative emotions or feelings you might have about leaving or about maybe feeling uncertain of how to deal with those things, those emotions as they come up. So having specific outlets to channel that into and to be in the flow state is going to be really important for a couple of you. So thank you, Spirit, for that additional message. Okay, Spirit, what can the collective look forward to? What kind of things and energies are coming into their lives that they can look forward to? Okay, we get one more, please. Give us the good stuff, please, Spirit. Something positive. Oh, I just heard not this deck. Okay. Which one then? Oh, ooh. Okay, and then this one. Okay, so I'll just go over these two cards first then. So we've got the ninth house, exploration, and then we've got Jupiter, which is abundance. I'm so in love with these cards. They're so beautiful. Okay, so immediately the first thing that actually came through with these two cards together was exploring what abundance means to you. Because abundance isn't just tangible like resources that you use, like money, currency, right? Because currency is actually an energetic thing. Even your like even money itself is energy, right? And so that's why we need to make ourselves a match to it. But some of you, you're needing to explore what abundance means to you, and then look to attract that, right? Look to raise your frequency and match that frequency rather than just one specific area of abundance. Now, for others of you, because this is what's coming in that's positive, um, having the opportunity to explore things, to maybe it's more time. I think it's more time. Having some more time to explore what it is that you are fascinated by, what it is that you are passionate about, what even just things like that you're not even sure if you are or not, but you're curious. Having more time, having the ability or maybe the freedom because of abundance coming into your life, having more freedom to explore things that really light you up or again that you're curious about. Maybe you've had it on the back burner for your whole life or for many years, or even just the last week that there was something that you wanted to try or explore or do. Um, so having the freedom, from what I'm hearing, the freedom to be able to explore. So for some of you, you may be getting some money. Again, windfall is here. You may be getting a windfall of money and abundance coming in. That is going to liberate you from the experience that you've been in, which has been limiting you in some way, shape, or form from exploring things that would set you on a higher path. Because, of course, when we're picking up hobbies, when we're picking up things that drive us passionately, we're in the flow state while we're doing those things. So let's just say, like, you love vinyl records, you collect vinyl records, you spin vinyl records, you mix them, you know, you're really passionate about the sound of the vinyl, the feel on the vinyl. Like if you're mixing two vinyl records together, and I'm a former DJ, so I understand this. And vinyl is my one of my passions, but when you mix those two, the feeling of the vinyl under your hands to, just move the record itself is so vastly different than using some sort of automated machine with a tiny little platform that you're touching the platform. It's not at all the same. The sound quality is not the same. Your technique has to be much higher when you are working with vinyl than, if you were just doing it off a laptop. So it's about finding and exploring these different things. I kind of lost my train of thought with that. But you can see, it's these things that make you passionate. It's these things um, that really get you into that flow state because you're passionate about it, because it really allows you to get lost in it rather than in your mind or thinking or stressing about anything. So it looks like some of you are going to be having abundance coming into your life so that you have more time to explore, or perhaps you're just getting more time in your life because we did hear that, right? More time to actually explore things. And I see these hot air balloons and, the compass. And so maybe you get to go on a trip. Maybe you get to go on a hot air balloon. Maybe you get to travel somewhere, right? We can talk. I'm talking about cruise ships. I'm talking about uh, explorations to places you've never been, right? Maybe because we're seeing air, I'm getting airplanes, travel. So it looks like maybe you might be going to new places to possibly even see if that's a location where you resonate and you'd rather move to, or you might get to explore a new property, or you might get to go and explore just a different city, or go camping, or could be anything. So take it as it fits for you, but that's awesome. What other good things are coming in for the collective spirit? What other good things can the collective look forward to, please? Thank you, spirit. So we started off a little rocky, but I guess I needed to clarify my questions. So this is probably kind of what's coming up, though. Excuse me, confirmation burp. Um, Coming up, or you're currently in, and so Uh, I do want to give heed and warning, I guess, to that, this is something that is actively in the works, whether it's known or seen or unseen and unknown. Um, you still should be aware of that. It did come out. So typically these things come up for us to break the cycles and break the patterns so that we can easily transition and receive all of the good stuff, right? There's always some sort of benefit to the breaking of patterns or generational curses that we're working on, right? It's not just that we're liberating ourselves and others. We are actually, you know, liberating stuck energies that prevent us from living the quality of life that we want as well. So, what other good things are coming in for the collective? Too many cards. What other good things are coming in for the collective that they can look forward to, Spirit? What other good things coming in for the collective that they can look forward to? Thank you. So we've got Ancient Muse, Soul Truths, Higher Self, Deep Inspiration. Hmm. Okay. So, so this seems like, yes, I just got confirmation from Spirit with goosebumps. So it looks like this, what you can look forward to by doing whatever work of closing out these cycles that you need to, that you're currently working on or that are coming up here by walking away. You're going to be aligning with your higher self, which means that you're aligning with your spiritual gifts, talents, and abilities. They're going to be opening up. Like I see a lot happening around her crown chakra. So this indicates to me that there is a lot of spiritual wisdom, knowledge, truths, like deeper understandings, deeper or higher perspectives on life, period, higher perspectives on the other dimensions and realms that exist on this planet, other, what was that you were saying? Okay, hold on. Uh, Other perspectives on how you, like how you actually operate in this realm and the other realms at the same time. So it's like this spiritual alignment to a higher dimension of yourself. So your higher self is essentially seated above you because when we incarnate here, we incarnate essentially asleep and we forget who we are. And so this is kind of a remembering of who you truly are by allowing your higher self to take a more planted seat within you, to allow more of your higher self to occupy. Because again, while we're clearing patterns and stagnant energy and old beliefs, and we're essentially breaking chains and cycles, and any attachments or addictions or afflictions we might be having, it allows us to open up more space, to free up more space within the physical vessel, to allow spirit and our higher self to then take a seat within our actual vessel, which is why we can walk around in a higher vibration, right? More connected, more deeply connected to the earth and to our spiritual selves. And then we can operate in conjunction and in balance with those aspects of ourselves as well as the 3D world. And it gives us the ability to have a higher perspective on how we relate to the environment that we're in as well, is what I'm hearing. So these are like soul truths, right? Higher wisdom, higher understanding. So that's a really beautiful thing. I'm excited for that. I'm always excited for that though. Uh, all right. What other positive, beautiful, awesome thing can the collective expect to come into their lives in the near future? Spirit. Whoa, that really came out with force. Okay, which one do you want me to take? Okay, thank you, Spirit. Okay, so reflections of time, surrender, cycles of change, unearthing, and lessons. Yeah. So what you can expect is, and here's the thing that I just heard is that for those of you walking away from these patterns, it's been really, 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 really challenging, right? Because it feels like there's no gain on the other side. Like, what am I even doing this for? You're not, maybe some of you haven't been seeing any results in your life, and you are wondering why you've done all this work or why you continue to be the one who has to be take the higher road, right? Why you're making certain changes in your life, or why you're giving up things, and I'm hearing resources too. Why you might be giving up all of these things, and like, what is the benefit of it all? I just heard. Why am I even doing this if I'm getting nothing in return? And so reflections of time, right? Um, the benefit of all of this is unseen to you, which is why we're kind of doing this reading. The benefits to you are not seen at this time, but they are going to show up in your life. But you're being asked to surrender the old ways of thinking about it. So, exactly those things that I just told you, that I just iterated to you. Um, those are the things, those are the thoughts and the beliefs that they want you to let go of, because these cycles that you close ultimately, and I discussed this over here already, ultimately make bigger changes in your life. But you're being asked to learn the actual true lesson behind that, right? So these soul truths are actually seeing the bigger picture. of why we do the things we do, and to understand them on a deeper level, that it's not just, um, it's not, how do I put that, Spirit? Uh, yeah, it's about shifting your perspective on it by getting to the truth of the matter, and that takes being open to it, because there is some sort of skewed vision um, on the process of why, or um, oh, okay, I'm hearing there is a skewed idea, or maybe attention going towards one specific outcome, when it's so much bigger than what you're it's so much bigger than what you're focusing on. And so they want you to pull your focus back and just understand that, abundance in itself comes in bigger bigger and bigger packages and many different avenues, the more you close out these cycles. So the motivation there, the motivation that you're needing right now, is to understand that um, the abundance that's coming in for you by closing out these cycles and understanding the deeper meaning behind them, so a higher perspective, is, I just lost that again, is what's going to allow you to open the door to your full North Node, is what I've just heard. So it's about completing lessons. So it's not just that you're walking away from whatever this is. It's about the why. What's the true reason? What's the soul truth behind the why you are choosing that path? Are you just doing it because you're being told to do it? Or is there a deeper reason for why you should do this? How does that affect you? How does it affect the people in your lives? How does it affect your future? What does it mean to you? It's about learning the lessons. And from what I'm seeing in this card, um, what's coming up in the near future is that you've decided to take that on. Many of you have decided to take that on to learn the lessons so that you can complete this cycle. And so things will be changing. You'll live more, or well, at least for whomever this resonates with, it sounds like you'll be living more in a surrendered state, in that flow state, right? Um, Unattached to so many different things, like whatever this is that's creating these conflicts within you, or within your environments, or with people. You're untethering, you're detaching from many different things, so that the outcome of your future situation can be, sorry, my daughter just ran out to use the washroom, so that the outcome of your future situation can improve, right? And so it looks like the art of detachment is going to be practiced in the collective quite a bit more. But you might just have this hurdle right now that you're dealing with. And right now you're being asked to understand the deeper meaning as to why this is happening, and what are you learning from it, and how is it going to change your life, whether you choose the one path or the other, to stay or to go, to detach or to stay tethered to it. Okay. Okay, I had to pause the video for a moment there. But while I was waiting, Spirit was channeling a few more messages here for you guys. So I did hear that for some of you, this windfall that's coming through, for some of you, you might have been experiencing the inability to change your diet, or to eat healthier, or maybe get some expert advice on maybe some health concerns. And this could be a dietitian, this could be a doctor, this could be what are they called? A naturopath. It could be somebody who is more specialized in helping you get aligned with dietary needs that are more specifically geared to healing your body from whatever you're experiencing. Or maybe some of you have been experiencing poverty or lack, right, in some way financially. And so you haven't been able to reliably feed yourself, feed your body in the way that your body needs or requires you to do so. And so this windfall down here might be an opportunity to change that. And I also heard that this windfall also might be coming in for some of you to possibly retire. So maybe some of you are getting a large sum of money or an inheritance of some sort that's going to allow you to actually take that step into retirement or to retire early. Or the other thing that I heard was to just take it easy and explore the things that you love, right? Hobbies, things that you love. Um, and just live a more restful or peaceful existence at this time, right? So money can be a contributing factor to um, a lot of things that we resist changing or that we maybe feel as though we don't have the opportunity to change. And so this windfall might be coming in for that very reason. Maybe these things have been on your mind lately, right? Or maybe you want to explore new hobbies, but you don't have the money to do that or to go out or to go, maybe you've had some limitations on even going to get a coffee or going places where people might be, where you might meet new people. So just thought I would channel that through. Thank you, Spirit, for the additional messages. And since we had a little bit of a disruption in the video, I'm just going to quickly clear the energy. You will not hear this bell because my camera, lovely camera, does actually cut out those noises. So okay, and because this video is getting long, I think I'm going to make a two-part kind of series. So we'll do all the good stuff. We'll do what's coming in, what you can expect. We're not just going to touch on the good stuff because, we also need to know what's coming in that might possibly affect us, kind of like at the beginning here. And then in the next video, on Monday's video, I will do one about what's leaving your life, what cycles are coming to a close, okay? I think we'll do that instead. So it's not like a 2 hour long video. All right. Oh, missing a card there. So, Spirit, what else can the collective anticipate coming into their lives? What's coming into the collective's lives in the near future? Keep in mind, I did not say the near future when I was drawing some of these cards. I think these ones. So this may be very soon. This may be in like the near future. It might be in another month. So, keep that in mind and take what resonates for you. You'll know best what your circumstances are and what's going on currently in your life. So, what else can the collective anticipate coming into their life in the near future? What's coming into the collective's lives in the near future, please, Spirit? Oh. Okay, so we've got avoidance. It's key to see the need to avoid discomfort, but also to overcome it and thrive. Confrontation, progress. And then breaking chains. The only way to overcome blocks is to confront them, self-limiting beliefs. And explore feelings, delve into insecurities and unresolved emotions, authentic closure, peace. So, yeah, that's really tying into what we were talking about here. So, there is, and this has been coming up a lot, there is some avoidance, or you may feel like the emotions and the things that you're exploring, such as these patterns or um, maybe your addiction to chaos because you've grown up in that environment, or your addiction to self-limiting beliefs. Your, whatever you feel is limiting these beautiful things from coming in. So again, that could be any of these cards like retirement, dietary changes. You may have some limiting beliefs around how to change those things. And you may be avoiding certain patterns or actually doing the work to heal them because you might feel like those feelings or the possibility of changing them is so far out of reach that it feels impossible. And so you choose to avoid them instead of confronting that discomfort, right? And so Spirit's saying what's coming in is um, that this feeling of needing to avoid the discomfort, this feeling of um, it not being possible is going to be coming up. It's either coming up now or it's coming up in the very near future because that's what I asked for the near future. Um, that it's coming up for you to be healed and that it's completely possible. And this is currently one of those energies that, like this avoidance of confronting yourself, right? Confronting your limiting beliefs is coming in so that you can finally break away from them. Again, we were talking about the untethering, detaching, and learning the lessons from it. And so there might be a need to really work with Archangel Gabriel at this time in order to reveal the deeper lessons, to reveal the truth behind these things, the truth behind why you are avoiding the exploration of these deeper feelings, right? So that you can finally break the chains and break through. But from what I'm hearing is that as a collective, as a whole, we are working together because, again, like when one person heals in the collective, you are paving the path for other people in the collective to do the same. So say we all have like a similar timeline that we're working on. Details are going to be different, right? But one person makes effort in one area and another is making effort in another area that's completely opposite, let's say. Um, or maybe a little bit different from the way that the other is. But you're kind of what happens is when you finally overcome and you break the chains for that specific direction you're taking, then what's left in between um, almost naturally kind of heals because as a collective, our energy is working in unison. And so if one person's working in one direction, the other's working in another direction, but all towards the same goal, the finer details in between overlap and you receive that healing that the other person is working on too, right? So there is some limiting beliefs around your ability to heal, but this whole collective energy is helping each other. We're all helping each other. And so maybe we have a specific way of doing things, or our understanding is of a certain nature or level. Um, and maybe we're not able to perceive fully the whole picture, but somebody else is working on the whole picture type thing because they're more of a big scale, zoomed out type perspective person. And by them working in that manner and you working in a more closed manner, like zoomed in to whatever the issue is, finer details, that's it. Thank you, Spirit. Then the two come together to create. Um, a bridge, essentially, right? And so it's completely possible, and it is coming up in your near future for you to understand that you're going to be breaking chains, you're going to be changing your limiting beliefs, and some of you are working on your avoidance itself, or you're going to be in the future, right? You're going to be changing that by changing the way that you take action in your own life, the way you perceive it, the way you view it, the way you feel about things, and not being afraid any longer to explore your deeper feelings or the emotions that are underlying these patterns of behavior or thought patterns or the way that you're behaving even, right? I'm hearing. And what that means as a whole, your perspective shifting as a whole in regards to how your actions, have a ripple effect, not only for whatever the situations you're dealing with in your own personal life, but for the collective as a whole, right? All right. What else is coming into the collective's energy, space, or lives in the near future, please, Spirit? What's coming up for them in the near future? What can they expect in the near future, please, Spirit? Okay. So this could tie into the hobbies card. We've got heal through art, express your shadow in art and let healing unfold. Creativity, expression. Yeah, so, and it comes down to this ability to take yourself out of your mind again, right? Out of sometimes we just need a break from all of this too, from all the spiritual work, right? Or from thinking about it or contemplating or um, just all of the effort we have to put into living as well as balancing our spiritual sides, right? And our physical health and our mental health and our emotional health. And so when we take on some sort of hobby or project, or we do things that we love, that we're passionate about, and we get in that flow state, it's really important that when you get into your shadow side, to learn how to channel that into something beneficial for you. And so healing through art does not necessarily mean that you need to paint or draw or create physical art with your hands, right? Or do woodworking or anything of that nature. It does not just have to be that. Healing through art can be you write a song, right? You channel that struggle that you've experienced or that pain or the darkness in your life or in that moment into something that is um, the highest expression of that pain, of that darkness, of your shadow. And so you could be writing a poem, or you could be dancing, or you could be going out into the garden and growing your flowers, or speaking to plants, or communicating with nature, right? Art can be so many different things, but all of these modalities coming together give you so many different options to heal yourself by transmuting that energy and putting it into something that allows you to grow as a human being and on a soul level, as well as an emotional level, right? So we're getting into that flow state by whatever I'm hearing that, like whatever is in the shadow that you've been resistant to looking at, or the self-limiting beliefs, that if you were to take a different approach and actually go into it and explore it and then allow yourself to heal by transmuting that into something positive, then this would take away a lot of this avoidance because it wouldn't leave I'm hearing a nasty taste in your mouth. It wouldn't leave a nasty taste in your mouth, right? After doing it. You wouldn't feel like your whole world was just rocked or that you've got the storm warning or these storms internally happening and wearing you completely out by the time you're done exploring your feelings or feeling them or getting into your shadow. But instead, it's an opportunity to kind of retrain your focus, retrain your beliefs about doing shadow work, and heal even this avoidance tactic to avoid it, right? Because you're going to be left with something positive and beautiful rather than something that feels depleting. And so, for some of you in the collective, it's going to be really important that you're taking whatever is coming up, those raw emotions, the anger or the resentment or the fear or whatever is in your shadow that you're needing to work on and explore, that you're taking that and you're putting it into something that's going to result in something beneficial. Hopefully that makes sense. And then we have unseen patterns, change your thoughts, change your life, beliefs, reprogramming. So again, that comes down to self-limiting beliefs, right? If you have limiting beliefs about how the world can work and how things can actually be, or what you have access to, or you have the potential to have access to, then that's going to limit the way that you can actually live your life. That's going to limit your possibilities to what's possible to create, right? If you don't believe that there is um, any possibility for things changing in your life, or for you to have a windfall of money, or whatever it is, maybe you want to win the lottery, maybe you want to retire. Um, if you don't believe, because of your limiting beliefs, that that's ever going to be possible, and that you're always going to be stuck in working on it and working on it and working on it and never seeing results, or never having the universe reciprocate, then that is a limiting belief that you're being asked at this time to reflect on and to start changing and healing. And so there are some unseen patterns that are keeping you stuck in certain, um, well, I guess it's patterns. There's unseen patterns that are controlling certain aspects of your life, and it does come down to these thoughts. What are the current thoughts that are going through your head? What are the thoughts that are going through your head when you're on autopilot? Let's say you're just doing the dishes and you're on autopilot doing that because you do that every single day, and your brain can essentially just take a rest, and then you can just do the dishes and thoughts go in and out of your head. Take note of what the thoughts actually are when you're doing things, when you're on autopilot, especially, because that's when you should most pay attention to your thoughts, right? And so, a certain level of reprogramming your thoughts is necessary, but you first have to pay attention to your thoughts and then not judge them, and just understand that you are not your thoughts, right? You have these thoughts, but you're not your thoughts. And so, knowing that thoughts are a mechanism of the brain, just like breathing or your heart beating unconsciously, you're not consciously choosing to make yourself breathe, or to make your heart beat, or to make your blood flow. Same is true for your mind and thoughts. Thoughts just come in and out, but it's up to you to be the gatekeeper and to decide, what thoughts do I want to keep? What thoughts do I need to recondition, or um, use like neuro linguistic programming to change, right? And you can do that on your own. You don't need to see a specialist to do that. You just catch the thoughts and you cancel that and you rebuke it, and then you put out your good thought. But it takes conditioning. And so, understanding what your thoughts are, understanding what your limitations are to what you should receive, what you're worthy of receiving. Some of you, I'm picking up that you may have just accepted this as your life now, and that it's not going to get any better, or whatever you're walking away from might feel very limiting. And so it's creating limiting beliefs. And so then you might just say, well, um, what is it, spirit? You might just think to yourself, like, well, I guess this is all I deserve, or I guess this is all I'm getting from this. Because, yeah, we did come at the beginning, I did hear, what am I doing all of this for? Like, I'm not seeing any results, I'm not getting anything. And that's generally the period in between where you need to practice the most patience and the most vigilance on your thoughts and your energy, because that's the period, that void space is right before the manifestation comes in. And so, if you suddenly change your mind about it and you stay on that path of being down about it or thinking this way, um, then the universe says, okay, I guess they changed their mind. They don't want that anymore. So then it doesn't come in, right? So there's some unseen patterns and beliefs that you're being asked either now or in the future to, in the near future, to look at as they show up, and be vigilant, be aware of them, because this may be an energetic thing too, as you are shifting into a higher vibration. and you're walking away from things and you're breaking cycles and um, detaching from things emotionally, then energies tend to come in. It doesn't even have to be a person. This energy can come in the form of a person, of course. But even if you're in pure isolation, and I know this from my own experience, energies can come in that are trying to get you to second guess yourself, trying to sabotage you, trying to get you into your south node, which is the past, and old ways of being and old programs and old limiting beliefs and self-doubt and the lack of confidence or anything that you've been dealing with in your life to overcome. This energy comes in to throw you off kilter intentionally. And it can show up just within yourself, right? Because this is like a form of spiritual attack, or just negative entities and energies that are always around. If you've broken chains to get them out of you and out of your energetic field, they're still looming, waiting for opportunities. And so this is a time to be very vigilant, to stay the course. I'm hearing to be steadfast and stay the course. And if you happen to fall off track a little bit, then just catch yourself without judgment and go, oh, yeah, okay, I see what's going on here. This energy is trying to get me off path. And this is happening to build your resilience, to build your strength, because what you're stepping into, you need that strength because, new levels, new devils. So the energies get stronger and stronger. And so the more you detach and become untethered to the things of your past, including cycles and familial cycles and patterns, and breaking these chains, then these energies can get stronger. So you have to be aware of that fact that these energies will, they don't like the fact that you are changing or kicking them out, right? They don't like the fact that, and this could be people or the energies or entities that are around all of us at all times. And I'm not talking about your holy ancestors or the angels or any of those. I'm talking about the dark forces that are around us at all times. The archons, right? These energies do not like the fact that you are breaking free and raising your vibration because they want control. So they want to alter you in as many ways as possible and get you to go back into these old patterns so that you doubt yourself and you doubt the path ahead and you have a lack of trust and faith. And so just be aware of that they will get stronger as you move forward in this, on this path and in your progression. And that is to teach you how to build that resilience, how to recognize when it's happening, and then how to take responsibility for yourself and change that, right? So these unseen patterns are partly your own, well, they're your responsibility to maintain and to uphold, but you also need to recognize where this energy is coming from or who it's showing up in, and decide for yourself in that moment what path you want to choose, because you're being given a new opportunity, a new decision to take a higher path pretty much every second of every day, right? So anytime that something comes up that creates some sort of discomfort in you in any way, shape, or form, you need to acknowledge that. And then, you're being asked to really look at that and decide in that moment, do I want to stand in integrity, and uphold my beliefs, my morals, my ethics, uphold what it is that I am striving for and what it is that I am creating, or however this applies to your life. Like, you need to make a decision in every moment, right? And again, like, something can be coming up that is going to test your patience. And this can be an energetic thing alone, or it could be a spiritual attack, or it could be a physical person. It could be a whole group of people. It could be at work. It could be within your family. It could be within a friendship, a relationship. It could be anything. So take that as it resonates, but understand that there is a need to really get into this really break free from this avoidance of fear of exploring that. And one of the ways in which Spirit's trying to help you is to learn how to channel that into something more positive. And that also allows you to look back after you've created something beautiful, to look back or even during the process to understand where these unseen patterns or emotions are hiding, right? So it might help you to investigate in a different way than what you used to do in the past, because what we've done in the past doesn't necessarily work when we level up. We need to change our approach, right? So maybe in the past it took a lot of deep emotions, deep searching, a lot of shedding tears, a lot of exploration of revisiting all of the traumas and the experiences. And now you're at a different stage where something different is going to actually help you break through. And this is about a breakthrough, really. It's about a big breakthrough that is needed, but you need a different approach to see these patterns that are hiding. Okay. And this could just be, for some of you, even just unlearning old patterns, unlearning the ways in which the methodologies that you used or believed or thought of in order, like what got you here in the past. Maybe you need to change just the way that you believe it should be, right? And that'll help you to break free from it. Okay, so we're getting late in the video, so I am going to close this with some positive affirmations for you. Spirit, which positive affirmations are going to help the collective at this time? Okay, our top one. Thank you, Spirit. Okay, so the first one is I honor how I want to feel. Feel free when I pull affirmations, I pause, so feel free to say them after I show them to you. Or if you'd like to write them down so you can say them as your mantras going forward during this period of time or in the near future when any of this comes forward for you. Feel free to use it as a journal prompt. That's also really helpful. Like how how do you want to feel, right? And how do you honor how you feel when presented with a challenge or presented with um, perhaps somebody else's experience or maybe their projections of how they view the world? How do you honor how you feel in relation to those other people, right? How do you express that? So, it's the first one. The moment I embrace my peace within and surrender the outcome is the moment that the universe can truly get to work. And yes, we have surrender here as well. So there is a level of surrendering and not resisting any longer the things that we need to work on and that we recognize aren't healthy for us, right? So it's about getting into a surrendered state, into the flow. We've talked a lot about that in this reading. Okay, and then the last one is in any moment, I can surrender to the powerful presence of love through prayer, contemplation, and stillness. So a lot about surrendering and being in the flow. Yeah. And so because we're getting a lot about going inwards at this time, like I think Spirit's really trying to illuminate that quiet time, you know, being with yourself is not a scary thing, and you shouldn't be afraid. Maybe it felt hard in the beginning, or maybe you went through something along this journey that led you to believe that you needed to avoid going inwards or being alone with yourself. Maybe you've been avoiding that. Um, but Spirit's here to tell you, like, it's not going to be as bad as you think it will be. Ask for that help. Don't be afraid to ask for help, I've heard. Don't be afraid to support yourself, love yourself, and nurture yourself through whatever transition this is that you have to go inwards and do. And it can come in so many different ways. That's funny, I just laid this on this one because it can come through expressing yourself through art, it can come through prayer, contemplation, stillness. Um, you can do your work in so many different ways that it doesn't have to hurt in the same way that it used to. It doesn't mean you might not, like, it doesn't mean that you won't have emotions or feelings that come up that need to be felt and processed. But it's not like at the beginning of an awakening when you're generally thrust into it from a state of trauma. So a traumatic experience is quite often what thrusts people into a spiritual awakening. So like we would refer to that in tarot as a tower moment. It's when the tower that you built up comes crashing down and it hurts, right? So it doesn't have to be that. And so there may be a need to honor how you felt about going inwards or your previous experiences of this path alone, as it stands. Honor your feelings about that and also honor that you're not that same person as you used to be. And so the way in which you can deal with it now is different from how you might have dealt with it in the past. And you're being offered different avenues to access those parts of you that are still hiding in the shadow, those patterns that are still in your shadow that need to be or are being asked to. I mean, you don't need to do anything. I use the word need because that's something I learned in my past vocabulary, just the way of speaking, which you don't need to do anything you don't want to, but Spirit is encouraging you to take this information and to really allow yourself to explore different opportunities or different avenues of getting into your shadow, of getting support that you need, of supporting yourself, and different ways of doing things now that you've gotten to where you are. Okay. And that's going to be different for everybody, depending on where you are on your path, right? So I hope you enjoyed the reading. I love you all very much. And if you enjoyed it, if it resonated with you at all, then please leave a thumbs up. That does help with the algorithm. If you'd like to leave a message, even just a hello, that does help me to tune more into your own frequency so that you get more specific messages. But again, you're not obligated to do that. That's really a personal choice for you. So if you'd like to do that, go for it. If you're new here, feel free to subscribe. Join our beautiful Vibe Tribe, our beautiful community of light here. And I will see you in Monday's video. Have a great weekend. Bye.